Shalom, Ka'alayim, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom to the few Akwathium that believe as well. A hearty shalom to you other laborers and you believers that are scattered throughout the face of the earth, whether you be among the heathen and even like the heathen who are speckled bird Israelites, to the whole household of faith, which is the elect. I want to say shalom. Real quick, I just entitled this video based off Matthew, the 16th chapter, okay? And I'll read it. Matthew 16:2. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. In the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, right? And this is even to this very day, right? Because keep in mind, Yahweh Shah saw it to the Israelites, okay? They can discern, what the weather gonna be or how it's gonna turn out according to looking up at the sky, right? They're going to say this: "O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times?" All right, but can you not discern the signs of the times? And that's the title of this video. Okay, it says, "A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonah." Okay, which that's what's going on right now. The Lord serves the prophets, all right, to forewarn the people. Okay, and what's going on is, though people are being warned, all right, they're not taking heed. And I'm talking about the Israelites out there, the Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native American people, man. You don't know what's going on because you don't take heed to the Lord's men that were set up to blow the trumpet, okay, which is sounding the alarm. All right, we're sounding the alarm, but no man regarded except for the elect that was waking up to this knowledge. Okay, so right now, of course, what we've been witnessing in the last few days is the Iranians and the Israelis have been shooting missiles at each other, and it's getting pretty intense to the point where the president of Babylon, which is Nero Trump, he's saying this, right? It says, Trump eyeing intervention in conflict against Iran. And this is a fulfillment, all right, of the prophecy that says what? The least of the flock shall draw them out. And they're drawing out the northern army, according to Joel 2, right before our very eyes. All right, which is going to do what? Draw out Gog to be a guard unto who? The Iranians, okay, which are part of the nations that are going to be assembled with Gog. All right, and Gog is going to be a guard unto them. Okay, so we watch the prophecy be fulfilled. Okay, let's read a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you that much longer. It says, President Donald Trump is seriously considering getting the U.S. directly involved in Israel's conflict with Iran as he meets with his national security team on Tuesday. Right. Those Israelis use the American army, all right, as a guard dog. So when you hear this national security meetings or interests going on, they're always going to involve, all right, those Israelis, all right, which you have the APEC, all right, the American Israel, it's called the American Israel, in fact, I know it too, I forget it. My heart is. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second. APEC. All right. There you go. American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Okay. It says it is a bipartisan pro-Israel lobby in the United States. Okay, which they have a lot of Jewish lobbyists in America that acts on behalf of Israel, because those Israelis are the Amalekites that's spoken about in the Bible, which they try to put that identity on the so-called Arab, but we know better. All right, we that know the truth. Okay, Amalek is the chief of the nations, meaning the first. Why you think anytime they start these conflicts or these wars, like this so-called war on terror, all right, who is it over? Those Israelis. All right, having conflicts, or starting conflicts rather, with the neighboring countries. Okay, so they're drawing out the Northern Army, okay, into the conflict that's over in West Asia, which is known as the Middle East today. All right, but still West Asia. All right, and it's just prophecy being fulfilled, man, because we live in a time where prophecies are speaking louder than before. All right, the World War III, or the third woe, is going on. All right, but don't get too excited, because why? Hey, we still have to keep watch for the MOTB. That has to come to pass. That has to be fulfilled, man. All the Lord's counsel has to be performed. Okay, let's continue on reading. It says, the U.S. directly involved in Israel's conflict with Iran as he meets with his national security team on Tuesday, multiple media outlets have reported. The president has lauded the Israeli bombing campaign against Iran's nuclear facilities, but has so far held off on joining offensive operations, opting instead to use U.S. military assets to help West Jerusalem shoot down Iranian missiles and drones. Ahead of a national security meeting in the White House Situation Room to discuss the escalating Middle East conflict, like I said, that's West Asia, really. All right, but it says Trump was considering entering the U.S. into the fray. Axios and CBS News wrote on Tuesday. All right, so he's going to act on behalf of these small hats. All right, and it's going to get this World War III popping. All right, or popping off. Okay, and this is what these military drills been about for all these several years, man. Military drills, with the different alliances and countries, because we're in a time of war, man. It just speaks about in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, man. And you can clearly see, all right, that we're in a time of war, right? Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. And you jump down to verse 8, it tells you this: a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. See? And we're living in a time of war right now. There's no peace going on. Though there be, these so-called peace talks in the news, potential peace talks between Trump and Putin and, things like that. What do you see going on? The opposite. Okay? Hate. All right? Acts of war. See? But you tribes out there that are distracted by these other things, like letting these small hats deceive you into protesting, all right? Because, Nero Trump is persecuting tribes as we speak, right? Especially, the Latin tribes. And that's just a distraction, even though it's real, but you have these Amalekites behind it. There's no king protesting that was going on this weekend, which that was organized by these small hats. All right, some Israelis organized it. A guy by the name of Ezra Levin and his wife Leah Greenberg. When you do your research, they're behind that no king protesting is supposed to be against Donald Trump. See? And what they do, they're just drawing you Israelites into that, and you're distracted by that, even though it's real, like I said. But the main thing is that You know, you need to be understanding what the will of the Lord is. See, we've been warning you of Jacob's time of trouble, but you ain't been paying attention. Okay? And now it's upon you. All right? You don't know which way to turn. But the Lord still have his men out here right now. Even though it's last call for alcohol. I mean, what? It's last chance for you to get this knowledge, this truth. Excuse me. So the Lord has called, but you have not answered. And the Lord is continuously stretching out his hand to his people, but they not regard his hand, the ones that don't believe. All right, 2/3 to be exact. So what's going to happen is they're going to perish in this land you call America. Okay? And that's that's just the bottom line, man. Period, man. Okay? Let's read a little more. It says Trump was seriously considering joining the war and launching a U.S. strike against Iran's nuclear facilities, especially its underground uranium enrichment facility in Fordow. Axios wrote, citing 3 anonymous officials, West Jerusalem believes the U.S. will enter the war in the coming days, the outlet said, citing Israeli officials. So, hey, man, Lord willing, they do. All right, and at the same time, expect the MOTB to be pushed, because this society, all right, this third world's war will not be completed without the MOT being implemented. All right, the chip, okay, whether it be the one that go in the brain or the hand, right? Because why? Let's go to the book of 2 Esdras 4, right? 2 Esdras 4 and verse 37, it reads, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he did not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So, though we see, all right, World War III, or the prophecies of the World War III unfolding, keep in mind that there is Jacob's time of trouble, and the major prophecy that we're looking forward to come to pass is the prophecy of the MOTB. See, that has to be manifested, okay? Because that's going to be a time of testing to try everyone that dwell on the earth. All right, because that's the new thing that the elites are pushing. See, all these things going on, all this chaos going on, it's all orchestrated, it's all designed, because why? Ultimately, they're trying to push their enterprise, which is the NWO, the New World Order, and the main thing, a part of the New World Order, is to have everyone chipped. See? So, we have to keep watch for that. But while you see all these things going on, right? And the scripture says, what manner of person ought ye to be, right? Let me get that real quick. Because we see all these things going on, right? What manner of person ought you to be, right? Second Peter 3, starting at verse 10, it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. It says, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Right, because we know that this third woe is going to be fought with fuel of fire, which is going to be, created by the nuclear missiles. Okay? Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Right. Because you see these things going on, what manner of persons are you to be? Seeing that the Lord is getting ready to bring forth this heavy judgment. Have you been seeking the Lord? Have you been doing the Lord's will? All right, have you eaten this roll, as far as you men, and go out and teach the house of Israel? If you women, are you women are in order? Are you in line? being submissive and obedient to your husbands? What manner of person are you to be? See? See, we see that our salvation is near, man. And while we are watching our salvation draw near and near, we have to be prepared spiritually. We have to trim our lamps. Okay? Verse 12. Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens shall be on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Yeah, from the nuclear missiles. See? What manner of persons are you to be? And that goes to what? Your conduct, man. How you conduct yourself, seeing that the Lord is getting ready to bring forth judgment. Have you been being, obedient to the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Or are you still being rebellious, man? Because when the Lord comes, right, He's gonna come back, and those of you that are still being rebellious and stiff-necked, you're gonna be destroyed, man. Because you don't consider or lay to heart that the Lord is doing these things. See? But, hey, it is what it is, man. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. All right? He that is holy, let him be holy still, right? Just roughly paraphrasing. Right? Such unto death, such as for death to death, right? We got to be concerned with the ones that are doing the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay? 2/3 are going to perish, and that's it, man. You got to work at your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. Because we almost here, man. We're here at the doors, all right? We're here at the doors, all right, of salvation. Okay? See here, let me get this real quick. I'm gonna close. We right here at the door. We're right here at the door, right? And I'm gonna get this precept. It's a parable of the fig tree, but I'm gonna get right to the point, right? Matthew 24 and 23. And just like the fig tree has a season. You can tell what season is, or what's going on with the fig tree according to the season, because it'll show you through the budding, all right, through its fruit, right? Matthew 24 and 33, it says, so likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. We're at the doors of salvation. We're at the doors of being saved from the destruction of Babylon the Great. And the destructions that won't take place, all right, in parts of the earth, man. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Hey, shalom to the Lord's elect, man. And I'll see you next video, Lord willing. But until then, shalom and stay watching. And we almost there. All right, shalom.